Everybody, this is Dyci with another video brought to you by Hub.Careers. And this is going to be the third video in my series of my experiences and recommendations of how you can live and work and travel abroad on a tight budget and ways to get to another country. So make sure you check out the first two videos in the series about my experience with CISV International as an au pair as well, and some recommendations that I have for some other programs that you should check out, like ISIC International and goabroad.com. So I want to touch on the best practices for teaching abroad and maybe some of the best countries to do that. We all know that South Korea, Vietnam, Thailand, China, Japan, cities like Dubai and Abu Dhabi right now are paying very nice salaries for teachers to come that are native English speakers from Canada, the United States, Ireland, England, Australia, New Zealand, and they are also sponsoring housing. They sponsor your visa, they will pay for your airfare, and they will also pay for parts of your health insurance. So I have not traveled extensively in either of those countries, but I have several friends that have been there for years who traveled there, did short-term contracts, 1 year or 2 years, saved up some money, and have since returned to the U.S. But there are lots of different opportunities there, public school versus private school, as well as different avenues for finding work there. And I'll definitely touch on that in another video, because there are some ways that you should probably try to stray from, and then some that are a lot more reputable. So I'll do a review for those as well. But in this video, I really want to focus on my experience in Italy. Europe kind of gets a bad rap for English teachers, and I've read a lot of forums, I've read a lot of sites that say that English teachers in Europe, speaking of Germany, Spain, France, Italy, Greece, that they don't make a lot of money. I don't think that they don't make a lot of money. I think if you are frugal and savvy, you can definitely live in Europe off of an English teaching salary, as long as you're doing it privately, so at a private school or private lessons, or maybe even doing business English courses. You're not going to make as much money as you can in Asia. You're going to be hard pressed to find a school or an organization that will sponsor a visa or airfare like some of the Asian countries will, but I definitely think that you can get by. I did my English teaching through private lessons, as well as some contracts as a freelance contractor for some business English courses. And I will definitely tell you that if you want to go to Europe or even South America, I haven't taught in South America personally, but I've been told, learn the language, learn the local language. So you're going to be doing Spanish or Portuguese in South America, and then whatever European country you choose. With myself being fluent in Italian, I was definitely able to access a lot of opportunities that some of my other counterparts and colleagues were not able to access, because I did speak Italian and I was able to make that connection with the students. So if you're going to be teaching in Europe, I would highly recommend going the private route like I did. If you have a degree in education and a certification from any state in the US, you can actually also access private schools. There are American schools, literally called the American School of insert city here. And those are some great options to check out. And I mean, Europe is fun. Weekend trips to Milan or Rome or France or Paris, as opposed to, weekend trips to, Florida or South Carolina. Some people love Florida and South Carolina. I prefer Prague and, in Paris. But teaching abroad definitely will open doors. You'll meet a lot of people. You'll learn a lot from your students, especially if you get into business English like I did. I've made a lot of great networking and business connections that I can always fall back on if I ever want to return to Europe. So I would definitely highly recommend learning the language, having a TESOL certification, TESOL/TEFL, or YELTS, which is the European equivalent of our American version of teaching English as a second language certification, will definitely help you as well while you're in Europe. The requirements to teach and be taken seriously are a lot stricter than they are in Asia. So I would definitely highly recommend that. I was able to make about an average of 14 to 1500 euros working part-time hours, which is about 15 to 20 hours, which is technically a full-time teaching load. But if you work it the right way and get a roommate or just find, a studio apartment, you can definitely make it work. I also know teachers who've been teaching for years and years in Europe, and they make well above that. I definitely kept my prices a little bit lower because I had less experience, but the more experience you have, you'll definitely be able to ask for more money. So if you have any questions specifically about my teaching experience in Italy or other countries in Europe, then definitely leave it in the comments or shoot me an email. Engage with me here on Hub.Careers, and I'll answer all the questions that I can. So thanks again for watching this video. Look out for the next video in the series of traveling abroad and living abroad internationally when you don't really have the money to make it happen. See you next time.